Abantu abatsha apha kodwa ndithe bayonqena ndithi hayi ayithanditsho. I didn't use the term lazy. You can go back to my interview, you will not find lazy. But I'm making a point of what unemployment will defeat if we're activists. If the land has a defeat, we must be activists. Now, activism, when Boza or Minister of Labor did it, Lamas was the neighbors said, we have identified particular jobs to be reserved for country citizens. Why can't we do that here? You go to a garage, you can petrol by a foreign national, something is wrong. You go to a farm, you find a foreign national is available. You go to a restaurant, upagalo by a foreign national. You go to the mines, basic work, every basic skills, yes, was a foreign nationals. That is not about xenophobic, it's about patriotism. You love your country. People from our country must have work. They must come out of their homes, look for the job. I do kaya imisebenzi. That is what I'm told. I said people are lazy. No, I'm saying, Pagaman, nifuna imisebenzi. Uba ni apply yenze follow up. Ithini reference number yam as an applicant. It's up to me. Uyilandelela alone. Ndikhona listing, the short listing. Ndizawuza kwi-interview ndiyiprepare. That's all I'm saying. I don't say people are lazy. I have not said that. I didn't say that. I will not say it in the future, but I will insist to put it.
Can I tell you, I'm now over 70. I've never had a government looking for a job for me. You know that? Never. I went to Teba, I took a contract, went to the mines, worked as a miner, went back home, bought cattle, bought sheep, went back to the mines, and I did that. The difference is that today, because there's a progressive government, people expect that government to go and give them jobs. They don't look for jobs. And that must change. I'm sure to be here in SABC yourself, you look for an advert, you applied, you got into SABC. Not the SAB looking for you. You looked for a job and you got employed. And people must begin to appreciate that you do queue up for a job, you get employed. Adverts are not going to employ you. You will have to look for the advert and apply in real terms. If you don't do that, you're not going to be employed. And I'm going back to the point I made. Let's move out of being a passive society to be an active society. I'm unhappy with the fact that many of our people don't use the advantage of an ANC government. I'm not happy about that. Instead, they expect that government to take them there. You know, one day I was traveling with a young girl from the Eastern Cape, and she says to me, you know, the ANC took me through high school in an office school, and they gave me NSFAS. I'm a professional pharmacist. And she says, but the ANC now cannot look for a job for me. And I asked this young lady and said, so in other words, you say, the ANC has given you a fishing rod. It must now catch fish for you. And she says, no, I never looked at it from that angle. And I think that is the angle that is missing in the debate. I started a project there. Many thought that was a government project. It was my project. I was plowing the land for villagers. I said to them, young people must participate in production of maize. They refused. They wanted me to rent the piece of land. They didn't want to be part of the project. Until after 3 years, I said, if you are not part of the project, then I give up on the project. I gave up. In that same village, I gave them 10 rams per annum for 9 years. And those rams changed the quality of flock in the society. But the fact that our community is not part of it is a big disappointment. They don't want to be part of the improvement, and I'm unhappy about that.
So a few days ago, Gwede Mantashe made some comments during an interview with the SABC where he said that South Africans should go out there and look for jobs and that they shouldn't wait for the government to give them jobs. Now, he faced a lot of backlash for this as South Africans felt that he was calling them lazy, which I totally understand because there are millions of people in this country who send out hundreds of CVs and apply for jobs daily, and they still have no luck finding a job, right? They even apply online and they still have no luck. So Gwede Mantashe came back again to clarify his statement. He says that he did not call anyone lazy and that he was just encouraging South Africans to go out there and apply for jobs instead of waiting for the government to come to them. Which for me makes me wonder, like, if we don't rely on the government for jobs, then who are we supposed to rely on? Because this is the same government that promised us jobs, right? And anyways, please like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.